Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope each and every one of you is having a great day, and I know a lot of you are actually on spring break now, so that's awesome. My spring break is next week, so hopefully I can pump some more videos out for you then, but I am on vacation for the first half of my spring break. And I'll talk about that in a couple of videos coming out this week because I will have to pre-record. But anyway, welcome to the weekly Cars 3 Diecast review. Today, we have Bobby Swift, aka Octane Gain number 19, and there's a lot to talk about for him, layers upon layers of interesting and awesome stuff. So let's dive right into the review. So of course, on my last Cars 3 Diecast review, which of course was smoky, for the most part, you guys voted for me to review Bobby here next. He received 932 votes, which was 76% of the people who voted. So thank you very much for voting as always, and I encourage you to vote in this poll for my next Cars 3 Diecast review next Saturday or Sunday, whenever it does happen to come out. So here are the options. We have Natalie Certain. We have Reb Meeker, Tank Coat number 36. Brick Yardley, Vitaline number 24, and the two unnamed racers that I have, Four Wheel Drive number 54, and last but not least, Bumper Save number 90, all of which are from Cars 3. Now these are the last 5 Cars 3 diecasts I haven't reviewed already. Now if you guys don't know, the Cars 3 diecast, the first wave that is, which pretty much includes all the ones I have been reviewing, is supposed to come out on May 1st, 2017. So in about a month and a couple weeks. So that's not too far off, but I was able to buy a bunch of them early on eBay from a Chinese seller who broke the rules and was eventually caught, and that's why they're not selling them anymore. So don't ask, you can't really get them right now unless you find someone who has them and wants to sell them. I don't really know, but they're not really available right now to the general public. But that's how I got them. And I got them like several months ago. December and January were the months I actually bought them and they were available in. So yeah, you can't really buy these now, which is unfortunate, but hopefully you'll be able to get them on May 1st. But pretty much what I'm trying to say here is that yeah, once these 5 are reviewed, I won't have any more to review, but that will bring us up to pretty much the last week or so before the release of all of them on May 1st. So I think it worked out pretty well with the amount that I bought, and I may be able to get another one, but I kind of doubt it. We'll just have to wait and see. So that's all for the introduction, and now let's dive into a review of Bobby Swift. So let's start off with his appearance. We do actually have a couple things to mention because he did appear in the Next Generation trailer, which in my opinion is the best trailer we've gotten so far. So does this scene look familiar to you? If you saw that trailer, it definitely should, because we did see these 3 racers racing alongside of each other. Of course, McQueen here in first, Hank or Cal Weathers, whichever one you want to refer to him as, is to the left of McQueen, and Bobby Swift there is to the right, kind of hidden, but I definitely spotted him in the trailer, and it was awesome seeing him in it because I've had the diecast for a couple months now and we haven't seen any pictures of him, so that was awesome to see. And there's actually a theory going around that these 3 racers, or all the stock cars in general, will kind of team up against the next generation high-tech racers like Jackson Storm. So I'd be super happy if that happened because I really like the look of this trio. They were racing down the track like a tidal wave, so it was awesome. I really like that scene in the trailer. Now, it has been rumored that Bobby Swift will be voiced by Angel Oquendo. Sorry if I mispronounced that, but that is what I've heard. I don't know if it's been confirmed or not. I don't think so, but it does seem logical, and it's nice that he will most likely speak in the movie. So that's cool right there. Now let's talk about his releases. So we don't really know much about his release yet. I would assume that he'll be released as a single, maybe in a 3-pack with Hank/Cal and McQueen, probably some multi-packs. We don't really know yet, but most likely he will be in a 2-pack, I think, with Hank Weathers, and there might be another release that we heard of as well, but it's kind of foggy right now, and I'm kind of not going off of the list. I kind of want to go off of something materialistic, you know what I'm saying? So we don't really know much. Now, the next generation Octane Gain racer, Daniel Suarez, has been shown to be released in a 5-pack and in a single as well. But of course, those are two completely different characters. You have stock car and you have next generation. And so it'll just be interesting to see how they will kind of like coincide in the movie. Will they race concurrently at the same time? Or will they be racing at separate periods? So it'll be great to see how it actually rolls out, because I'm quite confused how we will have, you know, stuff like this here where you have, all right, just imagine this is from Cars 3. Now, of course, this is from Cars 1. This is Aiken Axler from Cars 1. But imagine it's that one that you saw in the trailer when, you know, you saw the back of him. You know what I'm saying. And then you have this from Cars 3. Now, this is, of course, from Cars 3. I reviewed him a couple weeks ago, the next gen Nitro A racer. So how is this going to work is basically what I'm saying. And eventually we will be able to have a comparison, and we'd have a next generation Octane Gain racer, of course, as well. Now, it does even get further and further deeper, because we have the Octane Gain team from Cars 1. So I just want to explain to you guys that these are different characters. A lot of people have been thinking that the Octane Gain racer or whatever sponsor is the same exact character that has been shown in the trailers, like Todd Marcus as No Stop. No, I'm sorry, but that is not the case. Think of it this way. Walmart, or let's go with Target, because I know they've had a NASCAR racer before. So they pay, they hire, and they sponsor a real-life NASCAR driver to represent Target on the race car track. You know, of course, NASCAR. And so that is pretty much what's happening here. You wouldn't say, oh, Target won the race. No, you'd say the actual name of the person, like, let's go with Bob Johnson or something like that. So that's the case here. Of course, this guy's name is not Octane Gain, it's Bobby Swift. He's been hired by Octane Gain. Same thing with the racer from Cars 1, Billy Oil Changer. He has retired, I'm pretty sure. I mean, obviously, we can't have 3 Octane Gain racers in the movie, but he is most likely long gone. And he's not the same character as Bobby Swift. You know, of course, companies, you know, they go through employees and they hire new ones as older ones retire, and that's just how it goes. That also relates to how the designs for Octane Gain have changed so much over 11 years. But it is very understandable. Companies do change their branding as time progresses. You know, they have to keep up with the standards of society and, you know, make themselves look appealing and whatnot. So that's what's going on here with Octane Gain. You can see that instead of having orange as their dominant color, purple is now their dominant color. And I really like that because it makes sense for the general evolution of things. Of course, companies in real life change their branding as well, such as Google and Walmart. I know they've had a couple changes recently as well in the past 6 to 7 years. Walmart went from that blocky font to the thin font with the white and yellow stars. So it makes a lot of sense. I'm glad that Disney and Pixar are implementing that into the movie because it makes it seem more realistic. Plus, this purple color looks amazing, so I'm super happy about that. And we'll do a further comparison between Bobby and Billy in a couple moments, but right now, I want to focus solely on Bobby and his unique traits. So he has a nice, happy smile on, very, very nice. Number 19, of course, his number is there below his headlight. Octane Gain Turbo Vitamin. So, of course, that is the product that they make. Seems like a performance-enhancing drug, but I don't think it's, like, illegal or anything. Of course, it's not illegal because it's a pretty big company in the Cars universe, so that's cool. Now, the logos are pretty similar, and, of course, we'll get to that when I do the comparison. Lightyear there above the fender because he does have Lightyear tires with silver rims and orange trim. His secondary sponsors are the Piston Cup, Vitaline, Revolting, RPM, Nitro A, Octane Gain again. That's kind of strange that he has it on there again, but oh well. Clutch Aid there at the bottom. Now the Piston Cup is another example of branding evolution. That is not the same branding or logo that they had in Cars 1. check out the top of Nitro there. You can see that the logo is quite a bit different and it looks a lot more modern now, which I love that they're doing that. We can see 19 right there, front and center, and then he has the orange kind of like spikes, and they're of course maintaining some of the orange coloring. On the roof edges, it does say Bobby Swift, but it is pretty hard to read because it is written in thin white lettering. It is there though, just kind of fades into that orange on both sides. 19 there on the roof with the roof flaps. Octane Gain with the gas cap, and same stuff over here minus the gas cap. On the back here, I really do like the design, how the orange kind of comes up from either side, but there aren't any new decals or anything like that. No slogan like a couple sponsors had, like Tank Coat. Sues the upset tanks there. So, unfortunately, no slogan, but that's okay. I do like the design of the back here. It looks really cool. And here, of course, is the base to conclude the review of Bobby. We do have the exhaust pipe coming out there on the side and a bunch of information that no one really cares about, especially us fans here and collectors. One other thing that I wanted to point out is that white little bar right there toward the bottom. I'm pretty sure that indicates to the pit team where to lift the car up at the, the jack, I think. Pretty sure that's what you guys told me. Usually on a lot of the cars, 3 cars so far, it's actually an arrow right there, like Hank Weathers. You can see that big red arrow right there, but for him, it's just like a little white line. But I do like how they kind of changed it up, so it's not the same exact arrow on every car. But that's pretty much it for Bobby. I do want to show you guys a couple other of the Piston Cup models because he is not unique. Combustor and Tank Coat are actually the same model as him. They have the same expression as well, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I don't think it's like a negative quality to any of them because that's what they did for Cars 1, and it's not a big deal. I think I'm pretty used to it by now, and I think it's not a big deal. What do you guys think about that? I'm sure it's not really a big deal to most of you guys either. But there you go. They are the same model. Of course, different paint jobs and some other slight differences, but other than that, they are the same models, same expressions, like I said as well. Very, very cool. And I'm surprised that Bobby didn't get voted in sooner. I would have voted for him back in week 1, of course, for Combustor. Those were the options, Combustor or Bobby Swift. Combustor won big time, which was kind of surprising to me, but he is really cool because he is a new sponsor. So that's it for that kind of like model of Piston Cup. Now we're just going over the stock cars. We don't really know about the next generation cars yet. And of course, we're excluding Jackson Storm, McQueen, and Cruz Ramirez. So the next model is the four-wheel drive and Brick Yardley Vitaline model. Buck Bearingley, the Vuezine Racer, also fits into this model category. This model is a little bit longer and thinner than the Bobby Swift model, so I actually really like it, and these two do have the same expression along with the Vuezine Racer, Buck Bearingley. So I like this model. I think I actually like a little bit more than the Bobby Swift one. And the last one that we know of so far is the Hank Weathers and Bumper Save model, but I believe it also encompasses Spotter Stop as well, who I don't have yet. But the weird thing is that Spotter Stop has a different expression than Bumper Save here and Hank Weathers. Now I know the reason for Hank Weathers or Cal, whatever you want to call him, the reason for him having a different expression is probably because he's a main character and they want to differentiate him, and Bumper Save, they just gave him that determined expression, but Spotter Stop actually has a completely new expression, so it's kind of weird there. Maybe he's actually a different model. I don't have him, so I can't speak for certainty, but those are the 3 stock car models that we know of so far. Like I said, excluding McQueen, who is a stock car, and of course all the next generation racers as well. So I do want to now compare him to the original Octane Gain racer. I really like how the logos have evolved. You can definitely tell that this is a 2006 logo. Looks kind of like in that older age. And now you have this 2017 logo. I love it. It conveys the same message, but it looks a lot more modern, and I really do like that aspect to it. Same thing with the number fonts, 58 and 19, and just the awesome overall design. I just love it. And of course, Billy Oil Changer does not have his name on the roof edges because I guess, he's not really a main character. I think that Mattel, Disney, and Pixar, they're only putting names on the roof edges for characters that are, pretty popular and main, like Hank/Cal Weathers, Lightning McQueen, Jackson Storm, cars like that. But for Rep Meeker, 4-wheel drive, bumper save, nah, they don't get that treatment, unfortunately. But let me know in the comment section below, do you prefer this retro design for Octane Gain, the orange Billy oil changer design, or do you like the new modern next gen, well not really next gen, but the purple design for Cars 3? So that's all for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sorry I couldn't have gotten it out sooner. I was just really busy last night and I had trouble recording, so when you add those things together, it equals postponement and delay of the video. So I apologize for that, but I do try and get these Cars 3 reviews out either on Saturday or Sunday, so I hope you guys can understand that. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I am going on vacation next weekend for like 3 to 4 days, so I'll try to pre-record as many videos as possible. So if you're on spring break as well, you can kind of use some of your time watching my videos if you want to do that. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to be rather busy this week as always, but I hopefully can fit in some time to do some videos as well. So thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next time for another video. Bye now.